Hello and welcome to the vlog. About a year ago I bought the Rad Power Bikes Radrunner European version, December 2022, and I bought the base version, which means that it comes with no frills at all. Since that time I've tried to improve my Radrunner. I think it's a great, fantastic bike, and I've tried to improve it, and this last week sees me making even more improvements to the bike, of which this vlog is all about. So if you're sitting comfortably, let me show you what new additions I've brought to the Radrunner that I think it will make my ride, for me as a rider, even better. So here we go. So the first thing that I have added since the last update, a couple of things. A rear utility rack at the back. It holds, in terms of size, it'll hold about an A4 size product in their bag or whatever it is, but I find this really useful. It's, at the end of the day, my friends, it's a utility bike, and you can customise the bike in I think something like 300 ways according to the Rad Power Bikes site. But certainly I find this a really useful addition. If I need to carry anything where I'm going, it's just the right size. A couple of other things that I bought. I've got on the rear a camera mount. There's three altogether. There's the one on the rear that I find useful. Obviously I have the one for my GoPro on the cockpit, and recently I've added a new one, and this one is on the front forks. I've yet to test that, but from what I read in terms of the bracket that I've got, that should suit my GoPro absolutely fine. But the biggest improvement that I've made is again up in the cockpit, and it's this little device here, and that's called an Eggrider version 2. Now what this little device does, this releases the full power that's in the 500 watt motor in the rear wheel. It's disabled to 250 watts because of the European regulations and UK regulations, but what the Eggrider does is to release that. Not so much for extra speed at all, but what's really impressive about it is the torque it produces, particularly when I'm going up a steep hill. It means that I can maintain my speed by still pedaling as I do, and not lose any speed at all, keep that same amount. It makes it much easier, but the torque it releases is absolutely fantastic. There are 9 power assisted levels on the Eggrider V2. I currently will not put it above 3, because at 3 that suits me to the ground. I actually got this particular Eggrider from a company called Big Games Bikes, and their service on this was absolutely fantastic. And to fit it, it's really simple. It really is simple of uncoupling the old display, putting this into the new connection, put it on, and away you go. There's obviously an app that is used for it as well, and this also, the app is very useful. It records all sorts of information that I find really useful. For example, it records my rides I do in terms of length, in terms of speed, and all sorts of information that I never had before. But what this little beauty does, without any question, my friends, it's the torque. So when I say let's talk, well, let's talk. It really is a fantastic addition to my bike. I have to say, still nearly a year on, do I know a cooler bike, electric bike out there? No, not a chance. This step through version, I loved it from the first time that I saw it. It's just ideal for me. Obviously you've added other things as well. For example, one of the first things I bought was the fenders, front and rear. As you can see, I also bought a new set of pedals. But the three things that have really made it work for me on a personal level, first thing is this, the Suntour seat post suspension unit. Because this bike has neither front or rear suspension, this is absolutely essential. This is a fantastic piece of kit, coupled with what I still refer to as the big bum seat. That's a gel seat with some real give in it. Makes it really soft for my backside, and it really does the job it's supposed to do. However, if you were to ask me what's the most safety conscious feature I bought, well, that's really simple. That's this mirror. This end-on mirror is so good. because obviously with the traffic as it is, from a safety point of view, and you can position it at almost any angle. But that is the best safety feature that I bought for this bike. Absolutely fantastic. I was asked only last week, by the way, when I was a youngster, what was the longest ride I ever took on my ordinary bike? Well, I remember that ride really well. It happened on a Sunday morning. I'm guessing the year will be 1970-71. But myself and 3 mates decided to go to a place called Draycott in the Clay in Derbyshire. Now remember, no sat nav, we had a map, no motorway, mainly A roads, some B roads, but that was the longest bike ride I've ever been on. Whether I'll do as far as that again, well, who knows, but that was what I was asked last week. So there you are, my friends. That's the improvements that were made to the Radrunner. I try to go out on my bike every single day, obviously weather permitting, because strangely enough, will I go out when it's wet? No thank you. Will I go out when it's snowing or icy? No thank you. As long as it's dry, it can be as cold as you like, but as long as it's dry, I'll be out there on the Rad, because I think it's a great bike, and I absolutely love going out as often as I can. So there you are, my friends. That's the improvements in a year. I'll update that in another 6 months' time, because I'm sure by then there may be even more features that I'll add to the bike. But for the time being, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you do, I'd love you to like, to comment, and if you could subscribe, absolutely fantastic. And as always, on these vlogs, there's only really 2 words I can leave you with, and I'm sure you know what they are by now, but I have to say it because I really mean it. End of the day, folks, ride rad.